well, let us show some love on the chat box and give them a huge virtual welcome for today's session on teacher motivation. We had two wonderful sessions on peer learning circles and classroom observation in the last 2 days. And today, let's get started with our final session where we will learn and upskill ourselves on teacher motivation, a very crucial aspect in any school. So we are so excited to hear from you, Atulya and Vidya. Over to you guys for the session.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. Okay, I'm going to first do a sound check. Are you able to hear me? Can I get a thumbs up? Okay, great. I'll share my screen and let me know if you, can you give me the rights to share screen, please? Done? Yeah,
Done.
okay, that's great. Okay. I want to quickly check. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, Atulya.
Okay. One tester. Let me know if the screen's changing for you all. No? Not changing?
Now it is changing. Yeah, introduction.
Okay, hold on. 1 second. I'll have to reshare. There is some tech issue going on, but I want to make sure that our session is without tech issues. So just give me a minute. Okay. Okay, I'll try to share again and see if it goes where I want it to go. Okay, are you able to see the screen?
It's loading. Can you enter full screen mode?
Yeah, I'm in full screen mode. Are you able to see?
No, not yet.
I think.
This is weird. Okay, Vidya, I think we will have to
Yes,
rely on your skill.
Yeah, it's okay. Just a minute. I will be present.
In the meantime, I request all of you to keep your videos on if possible. That will give a great energy for us as well. Thank you so much for switching on your videos.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Which screen is it?
It's the slide deck.
Day 3?
Motivation, understanding
Yeah,
the what.
yeah. Can we
Oh, no, wait, I'm presenting a wrong screen then. Just give me a second.
yeah, we're at our chat, Vidya.
Oh, sorry. 1 second.
No worries. I'm so sorry, team, for this delay.
No worries.
Stop sharing. Yeah. Yeah, I think now you can see my screen, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Maybe?
yes.
Oh, perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Wow, nice. I feel like that was a test that we have successfully cleared. Okay, cool. My name is Atulya, in case you missed it in all of this tech issues, and my colleague Vidya and I will be facilitating this session today. In the last 2 days, we've spoken to you about peer learning circles. We've spoken to you about classroom observations, but and those sessions were amazing, right? But even during those 2 sessions, I saw a lot of you asking on the chat as well as during conversations that how do we motivate teachers to actually do these really amazing things? How do we get them to be open to this and to try this out? Um, Teacher motivation is essentially the bedrock of anything you want to change in your school or anything you want to try out in your school, right? So today's session is going to be talking and focusing on teacher motivation. We'll understand a little bit about it, but more importantly, we'll give you strategies that you can try out to motivate your team. With that, let us get started. Uh, Okay, so very quickly, I'm one of those facilitators who really likes to know their audience. So what I want you to do is I want you to use the chat box, put your name and your all-time favorite subject. It can be subject you teach or it can be subject that you're just fascinated by. For example, I'm Atulya. I used to be a history teacher and I love history. Okay, I'm seeing responses coming in already. Okay, literature, biology, English, biology, psychology, wow. Math, ooh, math teachers are my favorite. Math, okay. Urdu, lovely, lovely. Okay, some languages. History, history teachers, hi. Love history. Okay, wow. We're getting a very, very diverse group. I love this. Thank you so much. Um, okay, now that I know what you teach, I'd like to know you a little bit more better. So what will happen now is you'll see options of choice on the screen, and these options are not very hard options. They're normal options of normal things. And I want you to tell me what do you prefer? Okay, I'm trying to get your choice. The first one here is this. What do you like better, tea or coffee? Okay, so coffee. Both. Hey, no, both is not an option. Please pick one. Okay, coffee, tea. Okay, tea. Wow, tea. Okay, we've moved to the next one already. Okay, can you tell me? And this is an important one, I promise. I really want to know. What pen color is your favorite? Green pen, red pen, black pen. But purple's not an option, but I'll take it. Okay. Cool. So many green pens. Lovely. Okay, we'll go to the next one, Vidya. Okay, this is a controversial one. What do you like better? Do you like Rohit Sharma better or do you like Virat Kohli better? Okay, Sehwag. I love how people are just going out of the options and giving their own options. Okay, cool. All right. Oh, you don't like them both. That's okay. Okay, cool. Ronaldo, lovely. Not an option, but I'll take it. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you so much for your enthusiastic responses. I feel great. I feel like I know you a little bit better. Um, with that, we'll get started. So, to make any session good, what has been happening and what we've continuing is following some norms, right? So, for today, these are the following norms. I want you to constantly add your experience in using the chat. Um, we're not doing polls today, but you will see questions on the screen, and I want you to respond to those using the alphabetical sequence of the options. Um, I want you to use the chat a lot. I love that you use the chat right now so much. Please continue to do so. If possible, please keep your video on. I'm somebody who changes things based on your facial reaction, so please do that. And the last one, I have this habit of asking people make like read things from the screen. So please pay attention. Anybody I can ask. Okay. Uh, with that, please give me a thumbs up if you know and understand these knobs. Okay. 2, 3. Yep. All right. That's a lot of thumbs ups. Nice. Cool. I'll move ahead. Okay. So, can we go to the next slide, Vidya? Thanks. The first thing I want to ask you is this. Take a look at this image and tell me what are you seeing happening in this image. Can you put it in the chat slash you can unmute yourself and tell me what do you see? A man pulling a scroll. Okay, perseverance. Okay, no problem, ma'am. If you can just listen, that's okay. Trying a tough task. Okay, can you describe the task to me?
I
Okay,
can try.
okay, please go ahead.
A man or a boy is trying to push a boulder up an uphill surface and he keeps falling down, but he still tries.
Okay, lovely. Thank you so much, ma'am. That's
Can I
exactly
go
what
for
it
this?
is.
Can I
Uh,
go for this?
can you just hold on? I'll take more responses eventually. Thanks. Okay, I see the chat blowing up, but this is what, as the ma'am rightly told us, that there is a person pushing up a rock above hill and keeps falling down. Okay, can we
So
go to the next slide?
the person is not giving up on things. He's just going on with the things that till
Okay,
until he just not what is his goal. So he's just going on and putting his efforts.
okay, thanks, ma'am, for sharing. We'll move ahead. Thanks. Just to note what you saw. So Basically, this is go back. Thanks, Vidya. So basically, what you saw is actually a Greek story about this person named Sisyphus. Uh, who he is, why is he doing this? I will watch a very short video to understand. Okay. Can you please play the video? Oh, okay. That's not loading. No worries, Vidya. We can skip it.
It's not opening. I don't know, Tulya, why.
Don't worry about it. It's a tech problem day to day.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Oh,
Now.
it's
Since
open.
ancient times,
Okay.
cautionary
The
tales have been
next,
used by
yeah,
people
yes.
severe. His sentence was to roll a gigantic boulder up a hill in a designated space in the underworld. The catch was that every time the boulder nears the top of the hill, it would roll back down, prompting Sisyphus to start all over again.
Good
He was
evening,
to be a
ma'am.
slave to this pointless act for all eternity. His punishment wasn't about pain or suffering of the body, but the deprivation of hope.
Okay,
Even
Vidya, you
though
can
he
stop.
knows his efforts are futile and vain, he
You
is
can stop there.
compelled to repeat it.
Okay, thank you. So this video that we just saw, it basically describes the problem that Sisyphus was facing. He was punished for being for this to he had to do this for all of his remaining life, where he would go and he would push up a rock every day, and then the rock would roll back down, and he had to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Can we go to the next slide, please? So right now you might be thinking and wondering, why am I showing you this? This is supposed to be about motivation. Here, Atulya is showing you random things. No, Bhavna ma'am, good effort, but this is not about don't giving up. It's actually about something more realistic. I want to point a very important thing out. The reality is we all work in education, and working in education is not always easy. In fact, working in education can be very hard sometimes. There are days where you are emotionally and physically exhausted, right? It's not easy to work in education, contrary to what people believe. There are very difficult days where you don't see the meaning behind doing things, you don't see the purpose, and these are completely normal thoughts to have, correct? Um, and our team, the people we work with, the teachers we work with, they also feel like this sometimes. It's exactly like we might feel like this, right? It's completely normal. But here and there's several reasons for it. We'll address those reasons in sometimes. But your role as school leaders and as key decision makers is that you have the power to do something about it. You have the power to help your teachers find their purpose again, see meaning again when they feel down, when they feel like Sisyphus. So I wanted to start this session with recognizing that our work in education is hard, but as good leaders do, we can help remind people again the purpose and bring back their motivation. Okay. With that, I want to quickly walk you through the agenda for today. Largely, we're covering three things. First, we'll look at motivation as a concept. Then we'll talk about how teacher motivation actually impacts student learning. Why are we even doing this in detail today? Then we'll quickly jump to the main component of this session, which is what are some practical things you can try out in your school to keep motivating your teachers. With this, I'm going to pass it to my co-facilitator, Vidya, who'll start this session properly for you.
Yeah, thank you, Atulya, for setting the tone of the session. So let's get started. So first, we will kind of unpack the first agenda, where we will kind of understand what is motivation. So I think all of us have some idea of what motivation is, right? I know that all of you were writing a lot of things, what motivation means to you. So we have all experienced the motivation in different ways. The fact that we all are here today attending the workshop in the evening back to back for the last 3 days shows that we all are motivated and eager to learn something new. So now I have a question for you. So if you have to explain motivation to a fifth grade student, what can you say? So can you share some examples? Please use the chat to respond. I'll repeat my question. If you have to explain motivation to a fifth class student, what would you say? Moral story. Okay. When you are eager to play. Okay. A badge. Okay. Interesting. I believe in you. Okay, positive words. That's very interesting, right? So for example, if you want to say, if you are telling a child, if you want to ride a cycle, motivation makes you get up even after falling. So this is a simple word that you will help the student to motivate. So let's look at it, what motivation means and what's the theoretical definition of it. So now yes. So now let's look at the meaning of motivation. So when we say motivation, it is about how much we want something. The stronger the desire, the more effort we put in to reach it, right? Also, when we are talking about educators specifically, motivation is the driving force which gives one power to run their daily routine. And I think Atulya was also kind of hinting towards the struggles that we do. So, for example, as a teacher, even on days when we are tired, but we still prepare lessons and we show up for class because we want our students to learn. That strong desire to see students succeed is what keeps us going, and that's what motivation is. But there are different kinds of motivation. So let's kind of explore more with an example. So here you can see two cases. One is a case of teacher Ramesh. So teacher Ramesh experiments with new teaching methodologies, and he enjoys seeing this student become more curious and engaged. So what can you use the chat and tell me what kind of motivation is this? What is motivating teacher Ramesh? Yeah, I'll pause for a minute.
Students, according to the student's interest, ma'am, the teacher will try to give more efforts accordingly.
Okay, yes, I see based on students' responses, it is motivating engagement of students, seeing students curious. Okay, seeing curiosity. Great.
I,
Now let's look
I,
at
I think I would say that he is motivated about learning also in a way.
okay, he wants to learn and that's why he is motivated. Okay, that's also one of the
He's
first.
also getting involved. He's getting involved personally as well.
Yes, he's getting involved personally. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing that. Now let's look at a second example. So here we see an example of teacher Monish who completes a training program mainly to get a promotion certificate. Now, what is motivating teacher Monish? Can you share your responses on the chat if anyone wants to unmute? Certificate, okay. Money
Recognition.
recognition.
Appreciation.
Appreciation. Yes, thank you everyone for sharing. So in the first case, the motivation was from within, right? Someone told that it's personal, but here the motivation is external. So this is what we call as extrinsic and intrinsic motivation. Now let's look at it into a little deeper understanding of it. So when we say intrinsic motivation, it comes from within. So for example, say it can be driven by personal satisfaction, curiosity, or passion. But when we say extrinsic motivation, it is more like I have to do it because it has a reward or a consequence. Now I'll pause here again. Which one do you think is better? Can you share your responses?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, my
Intrinsic
question is
is
which one
better.
is better? Can we compare?
Extrinsic.
Okay.
Extrinsic, ma'am.
Okay, both. Okay,
I
see
think intrinsic is better because when you're motivated from within, you don't need someone from outside to, inspire you to achieve. Although that's required from time to time, but intrinsic is any day good.
Of
Okay.
course, intrinsic, because it comes from within, self-motivated.
Okay, thank you for sharing your responses, but I would like to call it out here that there is no comparison to it. Both the type of motivation are perfectly fine. Intrinsic motivation keeps us engaged and joyful in the process, while extrinsic motivation can give us a push when we need direction or a tangible reward. So most of the time, people are driven by a mix of both, and recognizing this helps us understand what encourages us and others. So that's the basic difference. Now I will do a quick check for understanding. Please respond on the chat. So a teacher attends a weekend workshop on digital tools because they personally want to improve their classroom practices, not because it's mandatory. So what is it? It's intrinsic or extrinsic motivation?
Intrinsic.
Intrinsic.
Yes.
Yes, that's
Intrinsic.
correct.
Intrinsic.
Yes, thank you, ma'am, for sharing. So yeah, it's intrinsic motivation, but I'm just reiterating again, both kind of motivation are great. It is not that one is better than another. Both have unique use cases. You might have some teachers who works with intrinsic motivation, but there are some teachers who like to work based on extrinsic motivation. So we'll also look into the strategies of both the things in upcoming slides, but this is something that we have to look into. Okay, now this brings us to the second part of today's session. And before we go ahead further, it's essential to understand why teacher motivation is important. So for that, what we will do is we will look at the case study. So imagine you are a principal and you are the principal of say Awesome Public School, and you decide to observe two classes. So let's see what happens. What we will do is that we will read both the cases. Then you will have to answer few questions after reading both the case studies. So I would like someone, maybe Pooja ma'am, can you read this out for us? This case
Yes,
study.
sure, ma'am. Mr. Sanjay first went to Miss Radhika's class. He observed. She started the class on time with the fun activities to know her students' mood. She was smiling and her positive attitude was holding students' attention throughout the class. When a student asked a question, she listened to her very carefully and solved the query. After the class, she wrote down her reflections and started preparing for the next class.
Yes, thank you, Pooja ma'am. Now let's move to the case two. Shaheen ma'am, can you read it out for us? Yes.
Okay. Mr. Sanjay then went to the Mr. Radha's class. He observed when he entered the class, Miss Radha was sitting on her chair and all the students were making noise. Miss Radha raised her voice and asked students to settle down. She directed students to read the chapter on their own silently. When students started asking questions, she asked other students to answer. At the end of the class, she gave homework to the students.
Thank you, ma'am. So now I hope you have registered both the cases. We have two questions for you based on these two cases. So which classroom do you think was an effective classroom? First case or second case?
First
A.
case.
A.
Okay. Now a very obvious question. Why do you think that class was effective? These are the four options. You can choose the correct answer. B. Okay. You all are very quick. Because of teacher's attitude, because of principal's presence. Okay. Okay.
Yes, B, because of teachers.
B. Okay, I think most of you are saying B. Let's do a quick debrief. So, say if you are at Mr. Sanjay's place, who has observed the two classes, what would be some of the differences between both the classrooms according to you? Would you like to share? Maybe you can unmute yourself and share. I'll repeat my question. If you are at Mr. Sanjay's place, who has observed the two classes, what would be some of the differences between both the classrooms according to you?
Can I go?
Yes.
I think, according to me, in classroom A, the teacher was very good at classroom management, and she had everyone in control. However, the students' participation was not very high. In the second classroom, the students were completely involved in the exam and doing most of the things by themselves. I felt that was a better class because it showed learner autonomy, and that's what the teacher was promoting. I may be wrong, others have other idea, but this is my perspective.
Okay, first one was engaging, motivated. Okay. Yes. So while there can be several factors that shape what goes on in the classroom, one of the key factor is teacher motivation. The difference between these classroom is something we all have seen in our lives, right? So this clearly shows that teacher motivation is crucial for student learning. So if we want our students to learn better, we need to continuously motivate our teachers. So with that, we know what, so that's what the difference between in the two classrooms. So now we know what is teacher motivation and why it is important, what are the different kinds of motivation are. Now let's look at the next part of the session where we will see what is demotivation and some of the strategies. So for that, I would like to hand it over to Atulya. Yes, Atulya.
Thank you, Vidya. Can I be pinned again? Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Okay, so far Vidya has clearly explained to us what motivation is. You already knew some things, but you found out some other things as well. We've learned how it impacts student uh, learning in the classroom. Now, what I want to quickly go over before we actually deep dive into strategies is what causes teachers to get demotivated. Can you go to the next slide? Now, we did some research, and this is also based on what we've seen on the ground in schools. Largely, there are four big buckets that have several things within them that cause teacher demotivation to happen. I'll quickly walk you through this so that you and I are on the same page as to what are the several reasons. So the first big bucket you see, which leads to teacher demotivation, is workload and systemic factors. I mean things like high pupil teacher ratio, where there are too many students per teacher, something that happens very, very commonly in schools in India. Another example of this is excessive non-teaching tasks. So in some tasks like administrative work, making excessive reports, exam duties. In certain states, when elections happen, teachers also have to go to do that election duty, and there are countless. So the high volume of this work can lead to teacher demotivation. Um, the second big bucket I want to talk to you about is school culture and the role leaderships play. So, I see more responses are coming. Yes, that's definitely true. Okay, so school culture and leadership also has several types of things that can lead to teacher demotivation. One definitely is if teachers feel that the administration does not care about their opinion or does not appreciate input from them. That can be one reason. Not being involved in decision making for the school is another reason. Third reason could also be limited peer interaction, limited collaboration. You feel like you come into work, you don't really get to talk that much or work with other peers, and that could also cause for problems and lead you to demotivation. Can we go to the next slide, please? Thanks. Other two big buckets are personal and emotional factors. Ultimately, teachers are also human beings. So it's only natural that personal and emotional factors also cause burnout and exhaustion among teachers. Other things that we've seen from research is difficulty relating to the needs of the community the school is based in, difficulty in understanding students, diverse needs of students, low confidence in your own skills, especially when it comes to technology, new uh, tech being given to teachers. There's a little bit of resistance. There's a feeling, how can I do this? I've never done this before, which is also perfectly natural. The final fourth bucket that I want to talk to you about is growth and recognition. When teachers feel like they're not getting a lot of opportunities to learn new things, when they feel like they've been doing the same thing on a rut year on year, demotivation is only natural. Lack of recognition or celebration of their efforts. This I've seen very closely and very popularly with teachers, that they feel like they do a lot, but nobody notices. That also leads to a feeling of, why am I doing this? Or nobody cares. Uh, and finally, no sense of accomplishment when student progress is noticed. Teachers put their heart and soul into making sure students do better, right? But if nobody even acknowledges it, it's bound to create demotivation for teachers. So while these are four big buckets that I've shown you, there are several other reasons that can be added to it. This list is not exhaustive. Uh, but I want you to take a note of this and be mindful that these are the large four buckets. Can we go to the next slide, please? Now, I want to hear from you. In your own school, what do you think out of these four buckets is causing teachers to be demotivated majorly? Again, please focus on the bucket. Do not respond on specific things. But in your own school, use the chat to tell me what's causing. Okay, I see A. Okay, A, A. Right, D. All right, B, C. Okay, S. I don't know what S stands for, but all right, I'll take it. I love how this group gives me answers that are not even there. Okay. Okay, cool. I'm seeing a lot of responses. Thank you so much. A little bit of all, a lot of A's,
I
A's and
think
D's. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
four are important.
Yeah,
I think
there.
all the options are important.
Okay, thanks, ma'am. That's a good perspective. Okay. In your schools, different things are going on. So of course you might have different responses, but I'm seeing a lot of A and other responses, right? It's A plus something. I want us to be mindful of this, that it's A and plus something, but there are other things also coming in. Okay, we'll move ahead. Thank you for sharing. So a lot of times our worry is that, okay, teacher demotivation has been caused due to several factors, but I want to take a quick minute to actually talk about what are things we can change and what are things we cannot absolutely change. What are things that are under your control or under your purview within the school? That means you can influence, and what are things you cannot influence, and thus should let it be. Um, things that are, can we mute the participants, please? I'm getting a lot of background noise. Okay, thanks. So, what are things that we cannot control? Systemic issues, non-teaching tasks, number of training programs. These are things that unfortunately we do not have a control over, right? We can feel bad about it, we can get irritated by it, but this is outside your purview as a school leader. So, I think the only safe approach is to let it be and accept it. But I want you to focus on this very long list of things that you definitely can influence slash control. Let's see, what does it have? Can I get Alka ma'am to read out the list, please? Alka P. Mehta ma'am.
Out of control.
No, ma'am, under control, please.
Yes, ma'am. Improving confidence in leadership, creating spaces for interaction with peers, recognition and accomplishment, providing opportunities for need-based learning, creating avenues for growth, reducing emotional exhaustion.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. So clearly there is a bunch of things we can't control, but there is definitely a bunch of things that we can control. I want us to think about this for the next few minutes. What will happen next is now we'll go into, Vidya, can you go to the next slide, please? Now we'll go into the strategies. And what we've tried to do is, for the things you can control, we've provided you a bunch of strategies, and we'll talk about these in great detail. I do not want you to worry about taking notes. We will definitely share the deck, but I would like to have 130% of your attention now. Can I please get 130% of your attention? Is it a
Sure,
big
ma'am.
ask? Great, thanks, ma'am. Okay, I love it. So how this will work, and this is going to be extremely interactive. I'll show you the slide, and you will only get the name of the strategy on the slide. Based on the name itself, I want you to use the chat / raise your hand. I'll unmute some of you to tell me, just based on the name, what could the strategy be and why are we talking about the strategy? That's going to be first round of discussion for each strategy. Then I will also ask you to identify what would your role be in implementing that strategy. All right. I'll repeat so that we're clear. The slide will open up. It'll have the name of the strategy. Based on the name alone, I want you to try and tell me what could we be trying to do with that strategy. They're pretty easy. And then I'll actually tell you what we've thought of in that strategy. And then I'll ask you again, what is your role? And I want you to tell me what your role is going to be. Okay. All right, we'll get started. So this first strategy is called Teacher Talent Day. It addresses school culture as an issue. So that is what I'm going to give you. Based on the name alone, Teacher Talent Day, can you please tell me what could the strategy be about? Vishnupriya ma'am, reward and appreciation? Not yet, ma'am. No, this is not about reward and appreciation. Okay, I see a lot of hands. I see Dr. Nafiz ma'am.
Yeah, hi. Good
Hi.
evening. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for a wonderful session. I think that, it could be about how a teacher strengthens the bond between a student. I don't know, teacher-student bond, or inspire the students.
Okay,
in a beautiful way.
That's an interesting uptake, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing, but that's not it. Can I get another? Okay, Chanda ma'am, do you want to tell us what this strategy could be about?
I think like appreciating the teachers, how she has done well in the school or in the class. In that way, Teacher Talent Day, something she's coming out with something new, and it is appreciated in between the school or in front of everyone.
Okay, interesting, ma'am. Thank you so much. But that
Ma'am,
is
may
also
I?
not it. Ma'am, I'll take more responses in some time. You'll all get a chance to speak, don't worry. But I'm seeing that some people in the chat have cracked it. Teacher Talent Day is actually about giving one day in the year for the teachers to showcase their talents.
Right.
Teachers are again humans, they do a bunch of things that they want to do. I personally know a lot of teachers who sing, who dance, but they don't really have the time to showcase that or share that with the people they work with. Yeah. So, one day in a year slash in a quarter, whatever is feasible for your school, you give the teachers an opportunities to just have fun and to share their talents with the school community. Why do we want to do this? One, it improves a sense of well-being for the teacher. So this idea that, oh, I'm just doing this job because I want to do a job slowly starts to dilute, and teachers start seeing this the school as their own community, as their family, as their extended family, and they start being more motivated towards working. The second reason why we want to do it is it creates space for fun and for personal interaction. And any place you have fun, you always look forward to going, right? It can be any place on this planet. One of the reasons why I don't like going to the bank is because I never have fun at the bank. It's very boring for me, is probably why I don't go to the bank. But if something fun were to happen in the back, I would show up every day. So, with that logic, we think Teacher Talent Day is something that is low resource, easy to do, and can lead to great results in your school. Very quickly, now I want you to tell me what would be your role in organizing a Teacher Talent Day? Okay, I'm seeing some hands. Okay, I'll ask Baljit, ma'am, or sir, I can't tell.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I just want to share one thing. In our school, we already have an art teacher. His name is Ujjwal sir. He's a good singer and he plays guitar also. So whenever we have Children's Day, Teachers' Day celebration, or the birthday celebration of the teachers, he is always on the stage. And many a times he asks and invites other teachers also to join, and everybody enjoys that moment. So those things
Lovely.
we can have in our schools.
Okay, lovely. Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you.
But if you were to organize it as a day specially dedicated to all the teachers, I think people would also enjoy that. But thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing. I'll reiterate my question. Can you tell me what would be your role as a school leader or as somebody who has a lot of ownership towards the school to set this up in your school? What would you have to do?
Ma'am, facilitator or mentor like that, demonstrating.
I would say we would have,
Demonstrating.
I would want to schedule it in the year.
Okay.
You know, like you said, a quarter in a quarter, maybe once. So scheduling it is important. Being prepared for it is important.
Okay, lovely. So I'm hearing a lot of responses on logistics. Let's see what's also on the slide. Yes, logistics is something definitely you will have to figure out, but you can take support in that from other teachers. And that's probably first. So you create a space and schedule for teachers to showcase their talents. But second and most importantly, you would have to encourage participation and celebrate contributions publicly. So you would have to create that space where teachers feel comfortable to do this with you, right? It's not going to happen on its own. You would have to be that person who does it. So I'll take more responses eventually. We have a FAQ at the very end. So please hold on to your questions till then. But this is the first strategy that helps you solve towards school culture. Very quickly, I'll go into the second strategy. Just from the name and probably from day one, what can you tell me about this strategy? What is a learning circle? I would love to call back to a day one of the PLC. All right, give me more, give me more. Okay, I've seen lots of hands, but I'll take some responses from the chat. Vishnupriya ma'am is saying support each other. Okay, peer learning, collaboration and support. Okay. Peer learning circle. Yes, that was the name of the session. So share your teaching strategy. Okay, I like that one. To share your teaching strategies. Okay, a lot of fun responses coming up. Okay, what I'll do is I'll quickly show you what this strategy is because you've learned a little bit about it already. So can Nisha Mehta ma'am read out what's on the screen? I see your hand is up as well.
Thank you so much for giving me this chance. So, learning circles. What? come together on a weekly basis to share their learning, discuss their challenges, and celebrate small successes. Why? Create a collaborative and mutual supportive environment, encourage teachers to spend more quality time in classroom.
Lovely. Okay. So in setting a learning circle, what would your responsibility be? Ma'am, Nisha, ma'am, I'm not asking you, I'm asking the general room.
Can I answer? But
Sure, ma'am, you can answer. No worries.
okay, so organizing a learning circle, first we need to prepare ourselves. We need to have an agenda or an objective why we are doing this learning circles for teachers or for students. And after that, we need to prepare the things, what questions, open-ended questions, close-ended questions we need to clear our objective and to make sure that the learning circles, what the purpose of learning circle is going to happen. So to solve those things. And
Lovely.
also, as it says, collaborative and mutual support. So teacher or students, they can share their ideas, what they are doing in their class and what is guiding and supporting them actually really, so they can each other can support.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Vidya, our session on day one has clearly worked. People know PLCs. Love it. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing. Can we please enter and show? So what I had thought of is essentially your role would be doing a lot of things, but what you absolutely have to do is facilitating these sessions regularly, given assuming you're only doing it for one PLC, like one type of PLC. If there are multiple, you would have to delegate, but you would also have to ensure as a facilitator that every teacher's voice is being heard and the successes that they are bringing into the PLC are also being highlighted. So it's going to be that. But calling back to day one, that and other things, depending on how you're doing it. Okay, cool. We'll go to the next strategy very quickly. Now, this one is by far my favorite strategy, mostly because I've seen it work very well. Can you, by the name, and it's very tricky, I know, but by the name, can you tell me what the strategy would be about? I'm going to take some responses on voice. Please raise your hand if you know this or can answer or guess for this. Okay. Okay. I'm seeing the same names. Okay. I want new names, people. I don't think Gagandeep ma'am has had a chance to speak yet. Please, ma'am, go ahead. Gagandeep ma'am? Yeah.
So I think key stress time could be coming together, making a kind of space where teachers are able to come together and share what are the things that create a lot of stress to them. For example, time management, or maybe something personal, maybe an opportunity to just let it out.
Oh, okay. Okay. While you have it on the right track, but this is not that strategy. Great attempt, ma'am, though. I'll take one more responses, but I want some new people talking.
May I?
Uh,
May I? Self-care exercise and all.
Is this Mamta ma'am or is this Mir Akbar Ali ma'am?
Mamta, I want to say, but
Go
I'm
ahead, ma'am.
not like, should I? Okay, so according to me, I think there are certain times when there is lot of stress to teachers, like when they're compiling result or some deadlines are there, LOCs to be filled. So that is, I believe, is a key stress time. And if we can provide some support to our teachers during that time so that we all are together and we quickly finish the work, something like that. It's just my guess.
Ma'am, what are LOCs? Just curious.
LOC is a letter of candidate, especially in class 9th and 10th when you register for board.
Got
It is a board deadline and lot of work is there for teachers to do
got
the checking and all. So
Got
we
it,
call
got
it a stress time for the teachers.
Got it.
They may have to
Exactly.
stay back also for the same.
Exactly. So ma'am's got it absolutely correctly. Can we press enter, Vidya? So what this strategy is essentially is you do a mapping exercise. You sit down with your staff and you take one-on conversations or you do it in a staff meeting, that's up to you. But you identify what is a lean period, meaning work is less, or load period for each member of your staff. So let's say if you have 30 people in your staff, just an assumption, random number I came up with. But let's say if you have 30 people in your staff, You should have a mental map of what is the key stress time for each person in the staff. You use this map to then allocate more work slash take some work away from them, or give them a lending hand, or just be an ear for them to talk about the issues that they are facing. But this allows you to adjust your approach pretty easily. So this is what the strategy is. Additionally, it is why we want to focus on. It disappeared. Thanks. Additionally, why we want to focus on this is just knowing this, just having this check-in with your staff once will help you figure out, uh, it will make them feel very heard. I'm seeing that seems difficult, near to impossible as a whole year is a key stress time. Sunila ma'am, while that is an interesting point, it's actually not always true, because it's possible that for board grade teachers, especially when pre-boards are happening or around the pre-boards, might be more stressor than other times of the year. But we wouldn't know that unless you sit and do this mapping. It's absolutely easy for us to say that, the entire year is that stressful, but there are variations that happen. And these happen across grades, across schools, across curriculums also. So we need to figure it out. I'd suggest, ma'am, you try it out once. And if you still feel like for all members of your staff, the entire year is very stressful, then this strategy is clearly not applicable for you, right? It is then one of those things that's outside your control. But don't worry, we have other things that you can try out. Okay. Very quickly, I want to identify, and in the interest of time, I'll not ask, I'll just let you know. Your role would be to sit down and actually map and identify your peak workload period for staff. As ma'am was also suggesting, examinations are a peak workload, not particularly when examinations happen, but checking. I remember when I used to teach, I absolutely hated checking because sitting down and doing it wasn't very fun for me. And I was very stressed out because a lot of math is involved, and I'm not a very big fan of math. But yeah, coming back. So report cards making, all of that is very peak stress time when teachers feel that they are doing too much. So just a conversation from you, or just hearing them and asking them, will feel very, very motivated. Additionally, what you need to do is you need to be a guardian of your teacher's time. You need to be a dragon for their time. You need to protect their time like it's gold by reducing extra time during the phases when you know they're already packed. Again, I do not want to dive deep into how to reduce, what to reduce. I know you're absolutely competent people. You will be able to figure it out. That's a lot of numbers on the chat. I think that's a mistake, so I'll just move ahead. Okay, we'll go to the next strategy on school culture. We have just two more strategies on school culture. Very quickly, this is the easiest one on the list. Can you tell me what this is? I'll quickly take chat responses. What is suggestion box?
It's a feedback, madam.
Okay. Feedback, yes. Take suggestion from teachers. Thanks, Baljeet ma'am. Thanks, Paul sir. Thanks, Vishali ma'am. Okay, okay. Advices and feedbacks. Feed forward. That's an interesting word. Feed forward. Vishali ma'am, what do you mean by feed forward? Can you tell us?
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
So in our school, we follow this thing only. Feedback is given, you have done this, that, this way, all just pointing out everything. Feed forward means that strategy or helping hand or something is given. Okay, instead of this, you can do, okay, classroom management. Instead of asking a non-verbal gesture, also you can show me thumbs up or thumbs down. That also you come to know, close your eyes. So at the time you will gauge everybody's answer also, that where your students are lying. So we give the strategies also like that way. So feed forward, next time you can do much better in this way, because clear specific examples is given to try it out. That's why we say not just giving feedback, but into feed forward also, they feel that in a positive zone they come. That is the reason I wrote feedback plus feed forward.
Got it. Very interesting idea. Something on those lines. A suggestion box is not a brand new strategy. We've heard of it. We've seen it in a lot of places. But I'll draw out its importance right now with what's on the slide. You want teachers to give your input at the school and system level. You want to be that space for them where they come and talk to you. The issue is you are not a person alone. You're also a leader, right? And unfortunately, the position of a leader comes with this scary aura around you, which sometimes makes you unapproachable, which makes it difficult for you to be somebody that I can just that a teacher can just come and talk to. Generally, that's the case. There are a lot of school leaders, however, who go out of their way to solve for this. A suggestion box can really help you solve it because it takes out uh, that discomfort some teachers might feel to come and talk to you directly. You put a box, you say, you can have a staff meeting around it. You say, I'm putting a suggestion box. I'm giving you 2 days. If you feel like there are problems that I can address, please put things down here. And that simple gesture immediately shifts so many things for your teachers because they start feeling like, oh, my school leader is going an extra mile to make sure something is coming from me or I'm being heard. So this is a very simple strategy. Pooja ma'am, on your question, do I keep it anonymous? I think that is a call you would have to take. It's upon your discretion. But I'm not a very big fan of anonymous suggestions. I feel like it's very difficult to follow up or understand what people mean. So up to you. You can take that call and see if you want to make it anonymous or you want to keep it named. Okay, very quickly, I'll talk about what are your responsibilities. So, of course, you have to set up a safe, anonymous way for teachers to share input. Please have like guidelines or have a talk about what are certain areas that are open for discussion in the suggestion box. So, classroom strategies, classroom problems, have categories built up. You can stick them on the box itself. This suggestion box is to take suggestions on X, Y, and Z categories and put a request that anything apart from these, I'm not listening to today or in this suggestion box. I'll put a suggestion box later for those. This will help you get pointed responses and it will make people feel comfortable in sharing. Your role again would be to review the suggestion box regularly and act on things that are feasible and also telling people that, oh, by the way, I got this suggestion from the suggestion box if they are comfortable with you sharing that information. So that is our fourth strategy. Very quickly, I'm going to walk you through the fifth strategy, and a lot of people have already hinted on this in the chat, and I'm also shared. What I would say is this is an easy one. I'll give somebody the chance to. Oh, okay. Thanks, Vidya. No worries. Uh, check-in conversations are some things that I am a huge fan of. What you do in these check-in conversations is you identify the teacher's strength and weaknesses through, I don't like that word, so I'm going to call it areas of improvement through classroom observations. And we did a whole session on that yesterday. So you already know what are good practices to follow during classroom observations. But you help them improve classroom performances by sharing pointed suggestions that are practical. Why do we want to do this? Is it allows you to be a mentor. Remember, great performers need great coaches. So these check-ins conversations are places where you get to be that mentor for teachers. And you can talk about so many things in these check-in conversations, not limiting to work, but also limiting to issues faced during work. For example, mental health. A lot of people talked about it. Why I think this is a very good strategy is it instantly humanizes both people in the conversation, right? If I have a check-in conversation with the person who's my school leader, I know that one, they care about my well-being. Two, I'm motivated enough to act on the suggestions they're giving me because they've bothered to have a check-in conversation. Very quickly, I'll talk about what is your role. So, of course, scheduling one-on-one chats with teachers. Now, depending on how big your staff is, I would request you to calendarize this. You might want to go with teachers that, do it in phases, do it maybe category wise. Like you can do it with high school teachers, one, if you have the entirety of the school, you can do it with middle school teachers in a different phase of the year and primary school teachers in a different phase of the year. But absolutely encourage you to schedule these sessions. And they cannot be one-time sessions. They have to be recurring. So you let the teacher know that, okay, from this month, I'm going to meet you 4 times every week, one time, and this is going to be like it's not going to be movable. We're going to do it absolutely every week. So the teacher also has clear expectations, and you share the purpose and you make it a safe space. As Amira ma'am, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, ma'am, but as Amira ma'am is saying, safe and private are the keywords. Offer empathy, offer guidance, be a mentor, and offer timely support. Okay. Okay, with this, I think we are at the end of school culture strategies. We have more strategies coming up for you, but the strategies we've covered so far are here on the screen. I want you to put down the number of the strategy you liked the most. Which out of these 5 you think is the most feasible? It's the nicest one. Can you please let me know? Okay, 1, 5. TTD. I do not know what TTD means. Oh, teacher talent day. Okay, got it. Nice. Okay, wow, wow. Pick one, please pick one. Don't pick so many. There is no 6, but I like that you went with 6. Okay, 4, 5. Okay, okay. All right. Interesting. Okay. Wow, wow, wow. That's a lot of 4s and a lot of 5s and a lot of 1s. Okay, nice, nice, lovely. Okay, with that, what I'll do is I'm gonna pass it to Vidya for a bit. She's gonna walk you through some more strategies, and then she's gonna pass it back to me in some time. So Vidya, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Atulya. So this is an interesting one. So far, we saw what motivation means and how can we do it in terms of school culture. Let's talk about few strategies around recognition, because after all, who doesn't like being recognized, right? Recognition motivates us to do more and excel. So the very first strategy here is gratitude board. So can you tell me, what do you think gratitude board means? What can we do with this in terms of motivating the teachers? Yeah, you can unmute yourself and respond. I can't hear. Yes, Chanda ma'am, you can share.
Actually, gratitude board is something when you it's part of a culture. You put the like chart paper there and the name into it, and then like they appreciate each other, their work, what they're liking about them, what they even they have saw this. So that's how they appreciate people.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I think on point. Yeah, we'll take one more. Royan, yeah, you can share. Royan.
Yes. Good evening, ma'am. At school, we use this for both teachers as well as for students. For teachers, after every program they conduct, we congratulate them and appreciate their efforts. For students, we appreciate their honesty whenever they return the lost things and so on. So we create a school culture.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for sharing. I see a lot of responses on the chat, like a month of the teacher, appreciating teachers' work, doing some recognition. So let's unpack what is it. So it is about to post, say, appreciation notes for teachers from other teachers or students, HM, parents, or even non-teaching staff. And it can be displayed everywhere, so it can be displayed where everybody notices it. So that is about gratitude board. And why do we need this? To recognize and celebrate small successes and efforts and accomplishments. So that's about gratitude board. What will be your role is that you'll have to create a visible space for posting appreciation notes. It can be done verbally, but it is better to have some tangible notes so that I can also keep it with me and I can take it back to my home. I can post it in the place where I see every day. So that kind of motivates me as a teacher, right? So this is something that you can also try. And you can also encourage students, staff, or parents to contribute regularly. So that's the first strategy under gratitude board. Now let's move to the second one. This is about WhatsApp groups. So we all have WhatsApp groups, right? Can you type it out on the chat or give a quick thumbs up? We all have WhatsApp groups for our school. Yes, yes. Okay, yes. So we all have kind of a WhatsApp group, and a little appreciation form can go a long way. So how do you think we can use WhatsApp for recognition? Has anyone tried something on WhatsApp groups? Can you share some strategies? Yeah,
May I speak, ma'am?
yes, yes.
Ma'am, like when we have talent evenings or when we have annual functions, so we personally send the WhatsApp messages to all the teachers, the teams which are given the responsibility of a particular item, and we send them personal gratitude and personal thanks so that they are motivated and encouraged for the next.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, for sharing that. Yes, Zulekha, ma'am.
Yeah, I've been raising my hand since a very, very long time. Thank you for giving me the chance.
Yes.
Actually, we have a WhatsApp group, and in that group, on a day-to-day basis, if a teacher has done something, like when I've observed a lesson, I found a teacher doing very well. So we put it on the WhatsApp group. If a teacher has got recognition for some efforts of her, she has got some awards. So we all put messages over there and everybody responds. I start with it and everybody follows it. So that kind of culture we already have. And just yes, today itself, we had a teachers competition. I wanted to share in the previous section also, where we have talents. The teacher had taken part, and these competitions were very different, not the regular, allocations and speeches. Not like they had to write a story of their own, or they have to recite a poem, and on the spot they have to write. They had to do mono acting. So many of my teachers had taken part, and most of them got first prize, second prize. So today we had a recognition for them in front of the students. We awarded them the trophies, and it was a kind of motivation also for the students. I told them, like, just like how you all work hard, even we have got talented teachers who are doing so much for themselves because they are talented. They are passing on that talent to you all, and that was a very nice feeling. And we do it on a regular basis. Whenever there are any achievements, we do it in front of the whole assembly, so the children also get to know there are teachers. Then we make videos of this and we share it on a parents group. We have a school YouTube channel. On that channel also we post the video so that entire community can see what our teachers and what our students are doing. So that's what we all do.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing this. I think
Thank you.
while we're discussing this strategy, you're already implementing it, and there is so much to learn from you. So thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing. Now
Thank
let's
you.
unpack, based on what Zulekha ma'am also said, what do we mean by appreciating in the WhatsApp group? So it's like an in the moment appreciation, by maybe say taking snapshots of a teacher's work with an appreciative message in the school WhatsApp group. Or it can also be about acknowledging the messages that they are sending. Say something like, I have done this group activity in the class, and you're just giving a heart reaction or saying that, good, Zulekha ma'am, that you did really good. So that one liner can also have a lot of impact on that particular teacher. So that's why it is suggested as a motivation strategy, and it also helps in identifying growth and accomplishment. Now, what will be your role in this? So you'll have to capture and share teachers' efforts, say photos or messages in the group, and it can not be limited, just not be limited to WhatsApp group. It can be on YouTube channel or any other social media channel that you use in your regular work. And you can also set the tone by modeling appreciative language. So these are the few things that you can try. Now, moving on to the next set strategy. Again, this is somewhat connected to the first recognition strategy, that is about gratitude wall. So I'm not spending so much time. So it is about, say, encouraging students to create gratitude messages that can be shared with teachers. And why it is important? Because it helps teachers feel valued and appreciated. Because a teacher truly feels happy when they see how well their students are doing and how well they are getting the feedback from the different from the students, right? That makes their life really different. So it's also important, as a school leader, you can collect these messages, gratitude videos, letters from the students, and share it across. So now what will be your role? So you can guide students to record short videos, write notes, again in a very voluntary basis. And you can also share this during assemblies or staff meeting to boost morale. Because say privately you can share these strategies, these recognition words with teacher, but sharing it across in the assembly will make more motivated, will make your teachers more motivated. So that's about third strategy. Now moving to the fourth strategy, it is about giving positive feedback. I think it got covered somewhere when ma'am was also talking about, it is not only about feedback but also feed forward, right? So what do we mean by this? In the interest of time, I'm moving it ahead. So it is like when teachers do something praiseworthy and give, so you can give positive verbal feedback in public. So for example, during morning assembly, staff room, PTM, it can be any space. And this can help teachers recognize what you value in the work they do. Now, what will be your role? You'll have to offer timely, specific praises for teachers in action, and you can also recognize efforts in public spaces. So these are some of the recognition strategies that you can use. Now, to conclude, these are the 4 recognition strategies you can use to motivate your teachers. Now you can tell me on chat which one would you like to try out in your, say, next 1 month. You can type it out. Okay, 1, 4, 3. Okay, yes. Thank you everyone for sharing. So now what we will do is we will look at some more strategies, for which I will like to call Atulya on the, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Vidya. All right. So we've covered strategies that are about school culture. We've covered strategies that are about recognition. Now we'll quickly talk about strategies that are about reward. Um, Reward is definitely an extrinsic motivator, but it goes a long way to actually motivating people. Um, and I'm a great fan of extrinsic motivation. Okay, um, I think it gets hate unnecessarily, but in reality, extrinsic motivation can be extremely powerful as a motivator, and it comes in various shapes and forms. Okay, I'm not going to go into the various shapes and forms of extrinsic motivations, but what I do want you to know is it's very flexible to channel. It's so I would like to make you all recognize that moving somebody's intrinsic motivation is pretty hard because you would have to change the way they perceive the world. But moving somebody's extrinsic motivation is very easy comparatively. It's almost a low hanging fruit. Um, so with that, I want you to know about 2 very simple strategies. There's a little bit of an overlap between the 2, but both are quite interesting and both work very well. So the first strategy is Teacher of the Month. Now, from its name, I know a lot of you can guess what it is. Can you please use the chat to tell me what this is? What is Teacher of the Month? Okay, monthly rewards, all right. Vanchika ma'am, can I get you to think about what are some things you can reward teacher on? Teacher shout out, okay, recognition, best practice pedagogy, exceptional and outstanding work. Okay, achievements of the teacher, showing work of teachers, highlights. Okay, best teacher in the entire month. Okay, okay, okay. So most of you all have got it. What I'll do now is I'll quickly show you an example of what are things you can cover in Teacher of the Month. Vidya, can you press enter? So basically, that's a lot of basicallys. What you do is you create categories on small recognition trophies or tokens based on what is feasible for your own school to talk about things that teachers do. This can be excellent teaching or additional activities teachers do outside the classroom. We all know teachers do a bunch of things outside the classroom. For example, bus duty is something that teachers sometimes do, or making sure children eat during lunchtime is something teachers do. So what you can do is you can announce this in a staff meeting and give some certain awards, and you can say that, okay, during the next time we'll do this, these people who have been awarded can now be the person who selects the next winner of the award. So that cycle continues and you make sure that everybody is feeling included. Why to do this is, of course, oh yeah, corridor duties. I remember those. Those were tricky. Um, why to do this? Because again, it boosts teacher morals quite rapidly, and it ensures that small things that teachers are doing apart from that classroom work is also being recognized. What would your role be on this? Can we press enter, Vidya? Your role would be to set the clear criteria and celebration openly. Additionally, you would have to be the person who makes sure that everybody is getting recognition fairly and it's not limited to, let's say, 5 or 6 teachers who are pals with each other. So your role is going to be of somebody who's moderating this and ensuring it's being done properly and people are feeling included. I absolutely suggest you try this out, especially the one winner selects the next winner thing, because when it works really well. People feel very, very good about this. And I know people keeping these mementos that you give them, even if it's as simple as a ribbon with a sticker on it. People keep these things. They put it home. They take it home and they talk to their family about it. That, see, I got awarded for this. It's so nice. So extremely useful strategy. Very easy to do. Very easy to try out. And um, as I like to say, very less jhanjat wala strategy that has a lot of results. So please see if you can do this. I really like this one. Very quickly, I'll go to the last strategy. Okay, can we mute? So I think somebody's put it on mute. Okay, thanks. The second and slightly overlapping strategy, and also the last strategy today, is teacher awards. Can somebody unmute and tell me about teacher awards? What are teacher awards? Please raise your hand. Okay, I see Anjum ma'am's hand. Hers was first. Yes,
Yes.
Anjum ma'am, can you tell
Yeah,
me?
so appreciating teachers for maybe very specific criteria. So recognizing that particular criteria and giving them an award for that particular thing. You know, that maybe it could be just based on humility or best practices or best teaching strategy, or you know, it could be any particular criteria. Then you're appreciating them for that effort.
Okay, lovely. Can you all use the chat to tell me what are some criterias that we can think of? Let's try to think of some unique criterias. So integration of technology in teaching. That's a good one, Sharon ma'am. I really like that. Collaborative, loyalty. These are used categories. Think of new categories that we can do. 100% attendance. Okay, that's something. SDG cham. Okay, what is an SDG? Sanghamitra ma'am said.
Sustainable
Oh,
goals, madam.
lovely.
SDG.
Yeah, I forgot about SDGs. Thank you so much for reminding me. Yes, that's an exciting
Ma'am, can I
category.
speak?
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. Actually, we have this kind of giving teachers award, and we have different categories for it. So we name it like Team Award, Excellence Award, Extra Mile Award for teachers. So apart from their teaching, when they carry out works to groom, I mean, to guide children, or one who leads their team very well, or one who supports their team, and for all these things we have different categories. So
Lovely.
basic four I just shared with you, and also individual awards. We have a handwriting awards for teachers. So the
Nice.
best, yeah, the teacher who gets the best handwriting, that is one who brings students handwriting out. So
Lovely.
all these things. So every year during the Teachers' Day, we give this award to the teacher in the general staff meeting.
Okay, thank you, Salma ma'am. Handwriting award is something I will never win because my handwriting is very bad, but I appreciate the uniqueness. Very quickly, I'll walk you through some things that I have put down. Vidya? Okay, so you can have various unique types of awards based on teacher strengths. Okay, you just need to keep an eye open. Something you can try out is a teacher whisperer award for teachers who have the least classroom management issues. You could also have unique problem solving awards. So something I've seen in one school, there was an award called Jugadu Award because there was a teacher who would make use of a lot of resources locally available near the school to build things out of it as TLMs. So that was very interesting. Essentially, be creative with your awards, have fun with it, and make sure you're really appreciating the work that people do. And you're not just giving awards for the sake of giving awards. That's something to be mindful of. It's entirely possible that you might see certain strengths that the teacher themselves doesn't know exist, right? It's possible that you see somebody doing something very well, they have no idea, and you appreciate them for it, and they finally know, oh, I'm great at this, apparently, right? So be open, be creative, and try it out. Very quickly, we'll look at your roles and responsibilities. One, creating fun categories. That's probably the biggest thing to do in this. Sit down one day and think, oh, what are certain fun categories we can have awards on? Take suggestions from certain staff members that you rely on. Um, And then secondary, you would have to organize this as an event. It's up to you to decide when do you want to do it. You want to do it once a year, you can do it once a year. But if you want to do it multiple times, you can also do it. You can have like a half yearly one or like a quarterly one. That's entirely up to you. But do celebrate the winners, do make a big deal out of it, because our teachers do deserve this, and it would bring a smile to their face for sure. And it would definitely motivate them to continue practices that are good. Okay. With this, can we go to the next slide, Vidya? With this, we've now covered the two strategies here. Because there wasn't much to discuss in these two, well, there was much to discuss, but because their options were very limited, I'm not going to ask you which one you like better. But I'm good on this. So far, we've covered a lot of strategies. Now, what I want to do is, Vidya, go ahead. What I want to do is very quickly, I want to have two bits of reflection for us in the interest of time. The first bit of reflection, and I want you to uh, use the chat to tell me, based on all these strategies that we've covered that you see on the screen, in your own school context, which one would be the most effective and why do you think they would be most effective? I see people have already started responding, but very quickly, okay. Preeti ma'am, you have to tell me why will it be most effective also. I love that you're thinking gratitude board and check-ins, but more information, please. Vipin sir, okay. All right, more information. Why are we writing that these are going to be most effective? Okay, I'll hover for 1 minute. Gratitude board, teachers will, that text went up. Get motivated every day, nice. Stress time, okay. Every time I try to read a chat, it just goes up. That tech award in that sir school, I will not get it. I'm very bad at tech. But okay, nice. I'm seeing a lot of responses. Great. Thank you so much for these. These are very, very nice to hear from. Very quickly, we'll go to the next one. Vidya, I'll take two responses. So far, we've learned about 9 strategies in total that address different issues in the school. I'll take two responses only, and very quick 1 minute responses. Please tell me about a strategy you have. Actually, I'll just take one response because we are very short on time. One response of a strategy you've tried out that is not in the list of strategies we've spoken about today. I saw Chanda ma'am's hand going first. Okay, she's put it down. Anjum ma'am, can you tell us?
Yes. So we have a Thanksgiving Day in our school where, all the teachers, it's a big day for all the teachers where they do come out and they perform, and they are allowed to kind of, it's like a gala dinner for them where they're allowed to get, one person from their family. So either they get their spouse or their, child who's above about 18 years, or anybody. It could be a friend, it could be their parent if they're not married. And so they have this gala dinner. Everyone gets to interact with each other, and yeah. So some of them even put up performances. They sing, they dance together, and it's lovely. It's just a very fun evening when where they get to interact and share with everybody.
I wish I was in your school, Anjum ma'am, because that sounds lovely. Okay.
Yeah, it is a lovely evening, So I mean, everyone really looks forward to that evening, and then of course, yes, we give out gifts also to the teachers, and on that very same day, we also give awards to the best teachers. So
lovely.
That is something they really look forward to.
Nice, very nice, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm hearing a lot of things coming in the chat. Please feel free to read and ask questions to your other participants also. Sorry, excuse me. What I'll do is I'm now gonna stop and I'll pass it to Vidya. Vidya, can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, I'm gonna pass it to Vidya because the strategies that we can try to do and work towards teacher motivation are endless. It's a long list. It is never ending. I could talk to you about this all day, but I want to end on time. So, Vidya, I'll quickly pass you back and you can continue.
Yeah, so before we close, let's take 5 minutes to quickly plan out our strategies that we want to use. So for that, we have a rough template for you. Atulya, you can keep the link also ready. So these are the 4 things that you can write down in your action plan. 1, what is the strategy you will try? Second, why will you choose that strategy? Third, what are the steps you will try this week? And who all will be involved in the process? So these are the 4 things. I think Atulya has shared the link on the chat as well. So let's quickly fill it out and then we will move to the last part of the section. Yes, Atulya has sent the link. I can also present that as well. 1 second.
Ma'am, I see you responding on the chat. Please do use the link to put it down so that we have a memory of what you've written down. So this is a Padlet link. It should be easy to open. And we've put down the template here as well, so you can put it there. We'll wait. To put something on Padlet, you have to click on this plus sign that's there, and then you can type it out.
Yeah, here.
Do we need to download the app?
No, you should be able to do it on your
Because
own.
it's asking me to open in the app.
Oh, no. Ma'am, then in that case, you can use the chat. If it's asking you to go somewhere, don't go. Stay here with us. Please use the chat. Okay, no worries, ma'am. You can use the chat. It's okay. We'll just save the chat some way. Oh, wow, that people have started putting things there as well. See whatever's feasible for you. Okay. Lovely.
Okay, we will take 2 more minutes and then we will close this.
Yes. No worries, ma'am. You can just respond here. If it's asking you to go somewhere, don't go, stay here, respond here.
Oh, nice. I see really interesting action plans being come up.
Lovely. I love these responses. I think I'm gonna have a lot of time downloading these responses, but I will have like a good read today after this session.
Yeah, great. I think with that, you have a bunch of strategies to try out. And I hope you all are motivated to try these out in your schools. With that, I will hand it over to Firki team. Thank you so much for engaging with us. Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Vidya and Atulya, for a lovely session on teacher motivation. I think the chat was just buzzing through the entire session, and I hope you also got that energy from facilitating for our participants. And dear participants, thank you so much for being wonderful audience, just engaging throughout the session with complete commitment. So thank you so much. A lot of love there for our speakers today and Mantra for Change team. Deepthi, if you are here, we would love to see you also. Thank you so much for joining, all of you. And quickly go to the chat box and share some love for our wonderful speakers for all the 3 days. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Beautiful.
Thank you so much for this insightful session. And I'm looking for more sessions like this. So yes, thank you so much, team.
Thank you. Thank you. So Anu has posted the link to the feedback form on the chat box. So if you fill the feedback form, you'll be able to receive your certificate. Before filling the feedback form, please note that you should have a Firki account and then you'll be able to access the feedback form. Yeah. And if you have any queries, you can write to programs@firki.co. But other than that, all the resources from the sessions, all the 3 days, we will upload it on the Firki portal. All the recordings are available on YouTube channel of the Firki, Teach for India Online. So you can just search that and you'll be able to see the recordings. If you would like to share it with any of your teachers or more educators in your circle, we would highly recommend you to share that as well. Please go and speak to someone about what you learned in the 3 days. That will help strengthen all your learnings. And don't forget all the action points you had put down on the chat box for yourself on all 3 days. The moment you go and implement, the learning gets strengthened. So don't let the session just hang there. Please go and implement all your learnings in the next week itself. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mantra, for Change team for hosting an amazing workshop for our school leaders and educators. With that, we'll see you all for another workshop very soon from Firki. I hope all of you have a great weekend. We wish you all the very best. Have a great